Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. Last night on Earthfiles, hosted by Linda Moulton Howe, I heard Barbados' name called. You are looking at her. Some people in Barbados, enough for them to have your name called as being part of the viewership that was on last night listening to Linda. But anyhow, Linda spoke last night about plasma. She says it is superheated matter that makes up 99% of the visible universe. It has no atomic structure. It deals with electric, magnetic fields, lightning, and she talked about the surface of the sun, 110,000 degrees, and how the heat, kills everything. But yet, although it's killing off molecules and other things, it is still acting or interacting with things, with the molecules. So there's a mystery, and sometimes when people are searching for truths, they reach a ceiling. There's a wall that a lot of people reach, and when they reach that wall, it's not as though you've peaked. There's no peak. You're still looking, but you have to say, well, what is responsible for our universe? And then they may turn to God. They may talk about heaven. They may pull the Bible up and look at it. It's something that I do, although you can never get me to believe in a God. Don't even, it's impossible in the body I am in at this particular moment in time. I cannot go with you on no God conspiracy, no God concept, no God. I cannot believe that one person has done everything that we don't know about, everything that we cannot see. I can't go along with that. And again, if there is a God that created the human monster, the creatures you find here that steal and rape and lie, look you in the face and lie. If there's a God that created the monsters you see here on the earth, let's hope that particular God got better at creation, and they're better humans, they're better creations out there. I have not met them as yet, okay, but I am open to the possibility that the aliens that created earthlings probably got better in time. But what you see with Linda is sometimes I think that she has a belief system. Although she's out there, although she's saying we are not alone in the universe, you can say that and still have a belief system. But her belief system, sometimes I think it traps her in a way that makes her human. She's very human. I like Linda. I actually like Linda. And on Gaia, there's a show called Gaia, a station, but you have to pay to be on it. There are people on there that actually talk about meeting, being in rooms with other people from other civilizations that are traveling in space and time, and they too are questioning, how did we become conscious, and how does it work? And when humans ask aliens who are further along in terms of intelligence and technologies about God, the people that they're talking to that they say have more knowledge and are millions of years ahead of the earthlings, they're saying that those people don't talk about a God. They too are searching for how it started. How did this start? How did life start? Because if it's forever and ever and ever and eternal, there's no beginning, there's no end, it just happened. Where can a God sit in that thing just happening? That means that if it just happened, if everything just came into being, excuse me please, that means that I am God, you are God, everyone is a God, and we just need to get together and coalesce and figure out, well, how do we see each other as separate beings? Is it just one thing, or are there separate beings? That's what it has people like beating their heads against the wall. How did it all exist? But I invite you to, if you can, like I said, it's a paid subscription. Gaia, GAIA. They have some stuff on there that can, really turn your hair gray, because like I said, they're talking about going through wormholes and speaking to other people, or getting up in the night and someone is in their room and there's like a portal where you could see the person come through and update them, or they talk about people being, they have things in their bodies where they're followed. And there's a lot of stuff going on in the world that people do not open up their minds to. And if you are going to sit with the Bible and say, well, everything that I need to know is in the Bible, that's fine. The Bible, whoever created the Bible, they knew about the human monster. They knew about the creatures on the earth, and the Bible was put there to tell the creatures here a little bit about themselves. So there's a lot of stuff you can find in the Bible. But when Linda does a show and she starts to talk about heaven, and if the world goes on, if what we are in goes on forever, if there's infinity, there could be a heaven. It has to be a heaven. If there's bad, it has to be like the good. And if there's existence, there have to be non-existence. And she talks about the light. She talks about light. What if darkness is what you should embrace? What if you're supposed to go into the darkness? What if light is not where you should be? And she talks about, saying it over and over again. I think Linda Moulton Howe, she's human. I like her. She's on a mission. But I think she needs to be careful with what she may be putting out there for people who are novices, people who are new on the scene, because it may not be light. There's a part of me that think that this whole thing is water. All of creation is like water. It flows, and whatever you see, whatever manifests, are the gods. Just being, just thinking, just not thinking, just alive and not being alive. Everything that you can think and not think, and everything that you are not thinking that probably exists, is something that should stop you. You should be very careful when you push, when a lot of people are listening to you and you're pushing a certain trend, a certain way of thinking. That's where you need to be responsible. In many ways, you have to be careful where you're steering people. And it may not be the light. It may not be that you should embrace light. Maybe you should embrace water. Maybe you should embrace darkness. Maybe you should embrace non-existent, because this existence as it is, it's temporary, it's erased, and then something comes back, and then it's erased, and then something comes back. Maybe you should embrace not being erased and coming back all the time, because she even describes the earth as an experiment. What's happening here is an experiment. And maybe if you want to think outside that box, don't think of yourself as an experiment. For me, when I die, she says to keep thinking about light, and we want to be in the light. When I die, I want to become God. I want to know everything, and I want to be able to have a choice of what I want to create, what universe I want to create. I never, ever, ever, ever don't think as I think now. I don't think I ever want to be in a body, but what I do know for sure is that when I die, I want to be involved in with the brightest people, the omnipotence that you hear about, the omnipresence that you hear about. Whoever has the most information about what's going on, I want to be there, and I want to know. Whatever you know, download it. Just download it. Okay, put it in and download it. However it is, so that I can make better decisions and never show up on earth again. This is Shay Veronica.